entering into what was a very exclusive and expensive vegan boutique, I was dumbfounded as I listened to the sermon emitted from the mouth of a very spiritual salesman. I felt as though I were about to adopt his precious legumes. He was some sort of high priest, a Celtic druid who worshipped his wild woodland produce. I got the very uneasy feeling that my blood would be let or sacrificed upon some Stonehenge if I was so much as to touch his sacred sprig of mistletoe, which was hanging from an oak tree that was called Zeus. Any mistreatment of any vegetable would obviously be punishable by death. Hello, sir, can I help you? I was thinking perhaps of purchasing some vegetables. What you mean is you would like to keep kinship with some of our vegetables, perhaps a cabbage or a carrot? It does require careful consideration, of course. Does it? I'm sorry, I don't quite understand. What do you mean? What are you saying? I should treat the vegetable as, well, you should be awarding, shall we say, entities, the equality that you would award to one of our, or your own, speciation. Right. So you want me to think of these vegetables as human? Yes. Not flora or fauna, but humans. Yes, if you want to put it that way. You see, these beautiful, humble entities that we'd like you, if you are, to take charge and take them under your, shall we say, your umbrella of loving union. No different to the living entities that we be. We're just one big substantiation that share sympathetically, or let's say we have aesthetic appreciation for each other. I see. Are they not just to be eaten? Well, to put it callously, are they not comestibles, cultivated for the purpose of consumption, should I say? Absolutely not. I mean, yes, you could. That's the end result. But you must understand that, firstly, these are very special seedlings and spoilings, which should receive the same custodianship that you would foster amongst your own speciation or siblings. Right. So I'm obviously taking charge or custodianship of what you see as a living entity similar to that of our own species, and that they are not just comestibles, they are more to be looked upon as children or offspring. Do I need any, shall we say, qualifications, or credit checks, perhaps even an ID check, DBS certificate or anything, to make sure I don't mistreat them, obviously? These children of yours, soon to be mine, heaven forbid, I may bruise a plum or a peach. I don't think you're taking this too seriously. These are entities that are alive. They are alive. Now, do you understand that? And therefore they need tender, loving care in their short lifespan. Right. Will I need to sign adoption papers? Will I just be allowed to perhaps take them home? You will need to sign and swear a statutory declaration here and now in front of me to love, cherish and protect these very, very, very vulnerable vegetables with the utmost care and respect. Right. Like some sort of sacred oath, you mean? I didn't realise you knew. I didn't. You see, I am asking you, in all seriousness, if you could perhaps realise the sensitivity, say, of a spring onion, and the sacred, ever so spiritual intervention of the... Right. I didn't realise that a spring onion was, had such sensitivity and was so sentiently spiritual. Well, of course they are. We believe this of all. Buddhistically of all vegetation. You see, the tulip, tomato and turnip, we feel are capable of transubstantiation such as ourselves. Eucharistically, one's culinary skill, it should show signs of consecration. Right. Well, I'm sort of a bit overwhelmed and complex by all this, by this strange approach, but I should say that, so you cultivating care for these things, I see, I shouldn't just see them as mere food. God, please don't ever use that word around these sensitive entities. Do not please use that, for fear of offending these poor darlings who have, let me tell you, I have raised and reared with a caring hand for months and months, sometimes years, from seedlings. Right, I see. So I hadn't realised that they were able to understand or even speak our spoken tongue of English, I would say. No? We, of course, and they, of course, speak and understand. We understand each other. We have been together talking for years and years through ancestry of artichokes, and it goes back decades. Oh yes, when they first arrived, when I first went and collected them, they obviously were Spanish, and they spoke in Spanish from their origin, country of origin. But now, they are as English as me and you, speakers. Obviously, Mr. de Vries, obviously. And what about the beetroots and things? Are they a simpler sort of... Would it be simpler for me? Well, the spilling of a beetroot's blood is hardly simple. You know, the blood be as divine as taking a sacramental taste of wine. You know, the Eucharist and sacrament is there. The blood spilt is as sacred as that, we believe. So it's all terrifically spiritual, similar to worshipping ourselves and taking, yes, that's it. That's it. At last you have it, Mr. de Vries. This is why we have to interview you before, you are gaining knowledge in where we are, where consecration of these culinary. I see. So is that it? Is that all? Is the interview concluded? No, it's only just begun. Now, each day you must start with sermons accompanied preferably with hovering hands of spiritual Reiki, followed with a very caressing, caring chi. And at night you must always finish with vespers, vegetable vespers we call it, where you sing psalms gently into the leaves, and your breath eases and calms away the fragility of these exceptionally delicate creatures. I see. Well, it all sounds very, very religious, and I must bring it to your attention that I am not particularly faith-minded. You see, I don't really know any psalms. I certainly don't. I've never thought about singing psalms over the leaves of, say, tomato plants late into the night. I never thought of doing anything like this at all. Well, we do advise. In fact, we insist that you raise and rear these little seedlings with prayer, piety, and preparation, and it must be mixed nightly with vespers and even a vigil and a vinegration. Right. Sounds a bit complex. Really, all this to sort of aid and assist and grow a few grow these grow vegetables. Well, you see, it will ally and assist with their, shall we say, sacrificial suffering. Your soon to be sort of vinaigrated vegetation. It will alleviate their distress and any depression that they might have, with their forthcoming demise. We suggest that you also regularly bathe and baptize these poor leavening legumes into the deep, dowsing waters of divination. Right. So we must cleanse them and wash them in holy water, by the sounds of it. Preferably warm. Yeah, of course. Is that about, or is that also is the interview over? Not at all. Just a little bit more. Now, when it comes to their education, oh yes, their education should be tutored daily, and preferably spoken in words of Latin or Aramaic. Maybe even you could use the ancient book of Vulgation. I don't have an ancient book, Aramaic or Vulgation, or even Latin, but I don't speak. Well, you can use a translation app. It's many do. Speaking to... right. You seem to be showing a sort of a starry-eyed, complex, questioning intonation, sir. I mean, are you sure you're ready to enter into our kindergarten of cultivation? Maybe you should... I think what we might do with you is give you a couple of weeks, or maybe 3 to 4 weeks, to bond with what, with something. Yes, what we normally do is have, if you're not quite used to it, we give you a swaddled marrow wrapped in swaddling. Yes, as a baby. It's about the same weight and the same structure, same feel, and we hope that you will bond closely and hold this in a sling, and hold it close to your beating heart or bosom, shall we say, for at least a couple to 3 weeks, preferably longer. Your face is still showing signs of quandary and questioning intonation, sir. I mean, are you quite sure that you're ready for our neo-horticultural emancipation? Well, it's almost akin to joining some sort of religious sacred order. Well, that is exactly what it is. It's the order of the garden garter we will award you if you succeed, Mr. Devere. Right, I see.